I always journal before I have someone come on, and it's very unorganized. We were talking offline about how organization is not my strong suit. It's kind of like this cloud of thoughts, and I have a whole bunch of topics. I'm like, where do we begin? Because there's so many topics that I hope that we can at least touch on during this conversation.
Mhm.
And where it came down, like where I think our origin should be is attachment, because I think everything comes back to attachment.
I agree with that.
And it seems to be a hot topic. One of the books that I read when I was early on into parenthood with my first child was Attached. And that was my first understanding and learning that there were different attachment styles, and even beginning to identify my own, my husband's, and how important all of these are. So, can we kind of get into what is attachment theory and different attachment styles and what they look like?
Absolutely. So I will preface this by saying my life also changed when I learned about attachment and attachment styles and attachment theory. And I was already a licensed psychotherapist at the time, and they had not trained us on this in school. So what I'm about to teach you and teach everybody in the audience is stuff that most therapists don't even know. And I'll explain exactly why. But attachment theory, it very simply, is the way that we learn to give and receive love with other human beings when we are a child. It is drawn from our experiences with our parents and our understanding of those experiences. So, if we don't get our needs met, if we don't feel like we are taken seriously, if we don't feel safe opening up to other people or asking for help or trusting them because we got hurt or pushed away or ignored or something went wrong consistently, we learn that we have to play games to try to make other people either not abandon us. That's anxious attachment style, obsessed with it, with abandonment. Or
Okay.
we have to play games to try to make other people do what we need them to do so we can live our life, which is more avoidance style. You avoid intimate connections and being vulnerable because you don't want to get hurt. And yes, everybody listening, there's a few of you out there probably saying, can I be both? Yes, you can. There's a
Mhm.
disorganized style, which just means cannot be neatly organized into either one. But it all comes back, like you said perfectly, it all comes back to attachment.
So I guess what does healthy attachment look like
Mm.
within like the parent-child dynamic and then within
Ooh.
a romantic
Oh,
dynamic?
good question. So, yeah, secure attachment. I should have mentioned that one. Secure attachment. The research shows only about 35% of people in the West now have secure attachment, especially here in
As
America.
adults
As
or
adults,
adults and
35%,
children?
only 35% of adults that we have measured have secure attachment anymore. It used to
Whoa.
be 40 years ago, it was about 65%. 20 years ago, the research says it was about 50%. Now it's about 35%. It's getting much, much worse. So, when people say, I've never met someone with what you're describing, what I'm going to describe in a minute, it's because it's getting more and more narrow. There's healing to be done, but it's there's hope. So secure attachment, it looks like this. I have 4 kids of my own, and when they come to me, they can just say, "Dad, I want this," and I say, "Okay, well, talk to me about why you want that. Why is that important?" Okay, well, this and this. Okay, well, I don't think we could do that right now, right? You can't have ice cream for dinner every single night, but if you want ice cream because you really enjoy it, why don't we find a way that you can have it that will take care of that and also keep you healthy. Why don't we work together to build that, right? Instead of no, you can't have
Mm.
ice cream. How dare you even ask me? It's okay. Let's talk about this. Let's understand each other. It's providing more context. It is getting to the root of their need. Okay, why do you feel like you need to eat ice cream? We had ice cream yesterday. Well, I'm kind of bored, or I want something sweet. Oh, hey, let's find a way to meet that need that's a little bit different. My
Mm.
son, he's 7 years old, and right now, as any parents would be shocked to hear he doesn't want to go to bed on time. So instead of me screaming at him, go the heck to bed, I'm tired of you, I don't want to look at you, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed, stop what you're doing, spanking him, like all kinds of stuff that when parents get really frustrated, they might do. I sit him down and say, look, buddy, I'm super tired. You're super tired. Let's have a great day tomorrow. What do you want to do tomorrow? Oh, I want to do this, this, and this. Cool. Do you want to be exhausted while you're doing that? Or do you want to have some energy to do that tomorrow? Oh, I want to have energy. So we have fun. Great. Okay. Hey, going to bed at this time would be really helpful for that. What do you need from me so that you can ease off into sleep? Oh, I need another song. Oh, I need 10 more minutes to read my little book. Okay. I need whatever. And I work with him on it, right? Cooperation, context, listening, taking each other seriously. That's what a secure relationship looks like. No drama, just helping each other.
Oh my gosh, I can already tell you're such a good papa. I love to hear that so much.
Thank you.
It's so refreshing, and then when you bring up that statistic of what did you say, 35%?
Mhm.
30%? I'm not surprised because of I mean, just existing in the world and
Yeah.
what people you're exposed to and what parenting styles and advice you're exposed to. And it's like
Mhm.
anyone with a camera can now pretend to have wisdom and suggest parenting advice. And oftentimes they don't even have kids, which
No.
is the kicker. It's this idea. Me and my husband call it 90s parenting. Like a lot of the times, like when you see 90s parenting and it's do as I say,
Yeah.
I'm not going to offer an explanation. And often there's like a physical repercussion, right? Like there's a whack, a spanking, a belt. It's not teaching someone to understand agency, sovereignty, cooperation,
Yeah.
cause and effect. Like there's no understanding or learning. It's you're teaching compliance.
Yeah.
And then do you want someone that is going to be easily persuaded, duped, and not learn to think for themselves? Or do you want an independent sovereign being when they become an adult? Like, do you
Right.
want them to be whole? And if the answer is yes, then they need to challenge authority, even if that authority is you. And they can do it in a respectful way.
Right.
But answer the whys, and then like you said, like how can we both get what we need, and then honoring like their development. And that's what we do with our son, because again, shocker, bedtime is not necessarily always easy, but it's if you don't get rest, you are going to feel like junk tomorrow. And then he's been doing this thing where he wakes up at like 4 in the morning just screaming,
Mhm.
"Mama, Papa, I'm
Mhm.
awake."
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, it's still the middle of the night, and explaining every time you do that, that makes us tired, and then
Yeah.
we're cranky, and do you like when we're cranky? And it's just providing so much more context.